Alright, so this concludes the end of our Pax East trip. I want to go ahead and mention too that some of the developers that we talked to on Saturday, which was a lot, we didn't actually get to put in Saturday's video, so we're going to put in this one because we actually spent yesterday not at PAX but in Boston hanging out with a lot of other Let's Players, so you guys can look forward to that. We'll probably get that up today. And then I want to go ahead and mention too that after we get all the PAX videos up, like all the dev videos, things like that, then walkthrough videos will try and commence after all that is over. So I had a blast hanging out with you guys. If any of you guys actually came, and you know, if I actually saw any of you guys here, then it was a blast. If I didn't, then that's cool too. There are a lot of other things in the future that we can do. Until then, I will see you guys later.
Hey everybody, I'm here with Greg from Retrotainment. As you can see, they're showcasing his new game, Haunted Halloween 86. Can you just give us a quick rundown of what this game is and what its concepts are?
So it's a brand new NES game released on cartridge. It takes place in 1986. Our two kids, Donnie and Tammy here, wake up and they find that their town is haunted, and so they got to go around and beat up a lot of enemies.
Nice. So this is available on Steam if any of you guys want to download it there. It's also going to be on Xbox, so those of you Xbox users, you'll be able to get it soon. And it's also, as you can see, on the traditional NES, so you can pick up the cartridge and pop it right in. Are there any tips that you would give people that are wanting to move into the game development field later in their life?
Well, for NES versions, you want to go to a website called Nintendo Age and look up Nerdy Nights. It's a great tutorial to get you started if you ever want to get into NES development.
And any just any traditional tips for like any people that just want to move into the field?
I would just say start small. Just start making little games and find cool little things that that you think you can expand on, and just go from there. But just get started.
Nice, and I will have these links in the video description so you guys can check them out there. How are you enjoying PAX so far?
PAX is great. Definitely the best gaming convention we go to all year.
I can concur with that, looking at this big audience and all the craziness that goes around here. Yeah, so I will hope you guys enjoy this little interview, and I will see you later in the video. Hey, what's up everybody? I am here in front of the poster for Trenchfoot, as you can see, and I am here with, who are you?
Matthew Mano.
Matthew, and he's going to give you a quick rundown of what this game is and what its concepts are.
So Trenchfoot is a local multiplayer game for up to 16 players. It's currently on Steam Early Access. The game works very similar to other games that are like Bomberman or other party games like that. The only difference is most of those games, the explosions will explode kind of in a T shape. In this game, the explosions are dynamic. So they'll flow around corners, they'll expand to fill the space that's available to them. If there's like a narrow passageway, they'll travel up that passageway and expand into an open space at the end. On top of that, there's a defensive aspect that's been added to the game, and that is blocks. When a player places a block, it prevents the explosion from going any further. On top of that, if you're looking at the screen right now, you'll notice that there's a lot of pipes and water everywhere. That's all user-placed stuff. When a player dies, it spawns a little piece on the screen. The player goes ahead and places it anywhere they want, and then they continue back where they were left off. So there's no dying early on in the round and having to wait for everyone to come back in to finish. You're always in the round, always playing. The rounds for this game go about 10 minutes, which is long for this type of game. The reason is the early game's a lot different than the late game. Early on, people are collecting power-ups, they're dying, they're adding features to the level. Later on in the game, things get a little crazy and hectic, and it just becomes a very confusing mess. It's a lot of fun to play. I wanted to make sure players had time to finish that. So far, the show appears to be going very well, and I was told I might want to talk about what it's like to get into the business. I've got a kind of interesting take on it. I'm not really sure if I'm in the business yet. I might have a little bit of, I guess it's called stranger's dilemma. I'm just an independent guy that kind of like enjoys programming on the side. So it's kind of difficult for me to get into it. I enjoyed programming. I was introduced to Unity by a friend of mine, and I just started working in it. So my biggest hurdle for me as a developer is just confidence. It's not what I do naturally. It's not what I went to school for. It's not what I do by trade. I enjoy doing it though, So coming to the show is a bit of a risk for me. It seems to be going well, but I can't really tell, to be honest, because I don't know what to expect. I will tell you this though, being at the show, I was super surprised at what the other exhibitors are like. They are just really helpful, really nice people. The guys over in the booth right next to me are independent studio that actually had a lot of luck. They ended up going from a very small team to a team of over 120 just because their game was so, interesting. And I'll be honest with you, I'm just some nobody that showed up here. And they have been the nicest guys I've ever met. And you know what, to be honest with you, every exhibitor that I've talked to has been the same exact way. So coming to PAX itself as an exhibitor, especially for a new guy like myself, I was totally enamored with the experience. I really enjoy it. And it seems like the show is going well. The game seems to have a lot of popularity as well. And that's basically it. If you're going to start doing development, the key is, understand it's going to be difficult to start. Understand that you're also going to feel like you don't belong or it's not really what you should be doing. But if you keep at it, you're going to get better at it, and eventually you will probably make something. And that's about it, really. Is there any other questions I can answer?
Nope, that about covers it. If you guys want to check out Trenchfoot, it is on Steam Early Access. Matt, thank you so much for doing this interview.
Thank you very much.
And I will see you guys later.
A nice long security line here. Oh, and we're moving. Yay!
Alright, so this concludes the end of our PAX East trip. We are back home now, and I had a blast this week. It was a lot of fun. I wasn't entirely sure how the trip was going to go because I'm not always the best with crowds, but I ended up having a really great time interacting with lots of other Let's Players, trying out all new things. I do want to mention that over the course of the next week, we're going to have some individual developer spotlights to kind of give each one their own little kind of mention, and so you can go check out the products, either just the beta or the full game itself if it's out. And after that, walkthrough videos will try and go out like normal, and I've got a couple other ideas after those that I'm really intrigued about that I'm not going to spill the beans on quite yet. So I will see you guys later.